Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yeah. Yes. And why? And why? And why she say? Because when I tell you that this day in itself, welcome, this day in and of itself, been one. But then just the before part of getting ready to come and sit down with y'all. Oh, I had some things and some stuff. Some things and some stuff. She ain't breathing hard. She ain't sweating. Welcome, y'all. She ain't jittery. Mm-mm. Whew. Y'all don't even understand. I dropped wax on myself, man. I dropped hot wax on myself. Welcome. Yes, I dropped hot wax on myself. And it wasn't scalding hot, thank God. I had blown the candle out. So it wasn't scalding hot, but it was hot wax. And all I said was, ooh, whoa. I'm still looking at the wax over there on the floor because I didn't have time for that. But one thing for sure and two things for certain, when I dropped that wax on myself, I did not get upset. I did not get frustrated. I did not get any of that. Oh, I'm about to brag on me because y'all already know I come up this joker sweating. I come up this joker saying, hurry up and let me get my two. And I still, believe you me, that's not a joke. I'm still getting my two. But y'all know I don't come up this joker and it be one of the first things I say. Can I get my two? Y'all, can I get my two? I spilled my teacup over. Sitting over there on the floor by my bed. And yes, you could say it didn't have no business there, but it was there. And it was not really much tea in it because I had drunk it all. But like it was like the bottom of the cup. That was the last thing I did. I was trying to light my candle because I keep forgetting to get a lighter when I go to work. When I go to the store. And two of my wicks had went out on my candle, and I was trying to walk it in safely because I wanted to keep it lit because I like the way it smell. I was gonna put it over there, but I'm like, that's gonna be really close to my computer, so I didn't. Um, but yeah, I spilled the water because the when I blew the little piece of paper out from lighting all three wicks on the candle, I was trying to open the water. I was trying to find some water, and I found the water. And went to try to open the water, and I was just gonna pour a little bit in the top, but I had it in the headlock, and water bottles don't like the headlock. So yeah, it just. Whew. But in all of that, y'all, and not to mention, and this wasn't no problem, cause I could have got in that car. I stood out there and talked to my sister for like almost 45 minutes, probably. Oh my God. I had just got out of the bathtub. I did not realize that the grass was out there or wet like a mother, like it was the dew in the morning or something. Like it's 10 o'clock at night. Why is the grass wet? There was no rain today. I couldn't understand where the wet grass came from. There was absolutely, positively no rain today. So walking through that wet grass at 10 o'clock at night threw me for a whole loop. And she's like, yeah, I could have told you that it was wet. And I'm like, why? Why? I've been outside several times. I don't walk. Oh, I can't even see how many steps I got because It's on that phone. I should have probably somewhere near 10,000. I might not have 10,000, but I should have somewhere near 10,000. Welcome, 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 you guys. And one thing for sure and two things for certain, I have 90 squats that have to be done before I lay my head down after I get off live. Y'all make me want to do 10 of them now. I might mess around and do 10 squats, might do 20 before I get off of here because I gotta get her done. And if I wait to do 90 until I get off of here, like y'all will be doing my squats with me, maybe. Maybe y'all don't want to do some squats because one thing for sure and two things for certain, I have been doing those squats since the beginning of November. And if I'm tooting, let me toot just a little more, because y'all know that, like I said, I'm gonna come up here when things have been hectic and chaotic, and you can see it. But let me toot. I've been doing the squat since the beginning of November. I saw on Facebook that there was a 3,000 squat challenge, which would make it 100 squats a day. Now, the first 3 days, I did not do 100. I did between 50 and 60. And then there was another day that I did about 70. Altogether, I was behind approximately 140. Now I have gotten what I'm behind down to 80 because I've been tacking 10 onto my 100. And I have been talking about, look, I had talked with one of my peoples about giving myself a grace day. And I was going to give myself that grace day. And then I got back. I was like, yeah, no, ain't no grace in 3,000. Ain't no grace in 3,000. If I miss one of them days, I'm making up the ones that I missed. If I miss one of them days, I won't make the 3,000. So there's no grace in 3,000. So if I get up and start doing some squats, don't judge me, or you can. But I have 90 squats that I have to get done before I lay down, and I'll be up here for like an hour and some change. So I might do some squats. But welcome, you guys. Sylvie 414. I am Sylvie, your rough edge lady. Excuse me, y'all. I ain't even said this, but it's still so. I am tired. I went hard. I ain't gonna sing up here because I can't say what I want to say in the song, but I did make a little video about it. Oh yeah, those need a cleaning. And I clean my glasses like all day because I have them on most of the day. But yeah, because I haven't cleaned them since I have them on in the bathtub, and they get a hot, foggy mess in the bathtub. Y'all got to excuse me. But once I clean my glasses, I'm just cleaning my glasses so that I can see, so that I can get my 2. I hope y'all done had a great day. My day has been very good. It has been productive. Got a lot done. I got my my mixture made for my filling made for my peach cobbler donuts that I'm going to take to the neighborhood tomorrow and see if my neighbors are going to be willing to taste test it. When I tell you, this is the 3rd time I made them. I went live on my other channel and I made them. When I tell you, this is coming from the person that posted this with the flaws on my other page, because I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna fix her up. So I post the flaws that I cook with as well, because I know I cook well, but everybody mess up sometimes. But when I tell you that those just taste like heaven, they just taste like heaven. Well, I'm ready to put them in some biscuits. I just need for my biscuits to taste like heaven as well. Okay, y'all. So I just need my 2. That's all. Oh, yes, that is another thing. Another thing to help me. I got me some meditation and praying already. But another thing to help me is I got these things done prior to. Like, y'all, I am healing from procrastination. And I still did, like I told y'all, these things that I deal with. I don't be up here saying I want us to reach the highest God powers in our mind, because I'm there. That's not somewhere that you'll probably ever just totally get. I'm there because, as I state often, God gave me numbers that said I'm on a journey. One of the numbers said I'm on a journey. The other number said we on a journey together. So I invite the peoples that will to journey with me. That's all. That's all. So I have an issue with procrastination, and while I do much, much better than I have ever, welcome, you guys. I still struggle. So I be getting this stuff together at the last minute. Sometimes that's what be helping the sweat be breaking out on my forehead and all that stuff like that. That's why I said I am going to toot my horn today. It's not one bit of sweat. Like I was easy, buddy. I was easy the whole time. I was like, ain't gonna breathe hard. You gonna sit back and you gonna breathe, Huffy. You always telling everybody to breathe. Breathe. Get it together. But I got all this. I set up. Well, I always set up my two platforms prior to. Like I always do that. But as far as getting my notes, y'all know sometimes I come up with this joke. I only have my music up on YouTube. I'll be like, give me a minute, let me go pull up my YouTube music. So I had all of that prior to my notes, my music, my timer. Now I'm getting ready to take my two, so I can go ahead on and get her done. Because we're going to be talking about 3 the hard way. And we'll talk about what that means in a minute, but in a minute, I just need 2 minutes, peoples. I just need 2 good minutes. That's all. Y'all want to join me? Y'all can. Breathe in deep through your nose. Out through your mouth. 2 minutes. Y'all, my mic broke my concentration. And just like just like I knew, I said, let me turn my music off. I said, Lord, I don't think I hit start on the timer. But it's not a good idea for me to keep this mic right here, because when I say whether I go into meditation for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, however long I go into meditation, when I go into meditation at this point, like my body relaxed whether I wanted to or not. So I couldn't really, like when I say I can get in a zone in 2 minutes, I be need that 2 minutes. The last time I came on, I was sweating. I said, give me my 2 minutes. I promise I ain't gonna be sweating no more. And I wasn't, like, because I really go to a place. I ain't gonna say my mind be quiet or anything of that thing, any of that like that. Because inevitably I am still new at meditation as well. While I've been getting into the practice for years, I have been committing to the practice for less than a year, if that makes sense. So I've been meditating for years, but not on a consistent basis. But yeah, that mic was not in a good place because I actually never relaxed because I had to hold it because my legs just couldn't have help but relax. And I'm like, okay, the mic is gonna fall on the floor. It's gonna make a whole lot of noise, and meditation is just gonna be blown anyway. But y'all, we is talking three the hard way. We started last week talking about anema. And I said last week, I believe that the Lord was going to stick a pin in it, not on needles. The Lord don't be dealing with needles. Stick a pin in it. We was going to be at anema for a little minute, is what I felt like and what I still feel like. So, in effort, wait, that's not right. That's something that don't belong. One of those things do not belong. And that one can go. So in effort to just keep it familiarized with what anema is about, I'm just going to kind of I'm not going to go over what I went over last week, but I do want to hit some highlights about what anema is, just to keep it at the forefront, because again, I said I didn't go looking for this word. I didn't go looking for this word. All I be doing is playing the word games and being a lover of words. And when you're a lover of words, you want to know what they mean. If you don't know what they mean, like I said that before. I made my daughters go look up words. You ask me what a word mean, I want you to know what the word mean for yourself. So I'm be like, go look it up. So the word game lets you look up the word and see what it means while you're in the game. So when I got anema, that was probably, I'd say 4 to 5 years ago, maybe, probably longer than that. And once I got it, I ain't look it up the first few times, I don't think, but when I got it consistently, I'm like, okay, let me see what this word means, because when I first saw it, I really thought it was anime. And so I won't paying it no attention. But the more I looked at it, I was like, Lord, this don't spell anime. Not one of them does. But the one that was in my game was not the one that spelled anime. It's Anima. And I think anime is spelled Anime. I think. I don't know. But anywho, if not, then it is. But I just kept seeing it consistently. And so I went to look up what it meant years ago. And I found out that it was dealing with psychology. And it was dealing with the subconscious feminine side of a man and the subconscious masculine side of a woman. And these can be on either end of the spectrum, basically meaning you can have too much brute as a man or a woman, because women can have a lot of brute too, or not enough brute. And I explained last week that not enough brute did not mean that you were homosexual, nor did it mean that you was a punk. Last week we made reference to, in my study, it made reference to being under your wife's slipper. That don't mean it's a punk, because a man could be under his wife's slipper and drag somebody from here to there out them doors. That he could be heterosexual as he wanna be. When he go in them doors, his wife run them things. But ain't nobody else running them things because his wife run them things. And then when your wife run the things in the house, pretty much you probably not gonna let nobody else run you. We also talked about that's not a balance, because there should be some balance. You're not supposed to be under your wife's slipper. We talked about No, the woman is not supposed to run the house. But we also talked about, because this is Sylvie 414, we find balance in the middle in that one. We also talked about every way that a man desires to run the house is not always the right way. That's where effective communication comes in relationships. If there is no communication, then none of that is ever going to work. But that's neither here. That part's neither here nor there, because we talking about Anima. We're not talking about effective communication. Now, we came to Anima, and when I started this thing, I started off talking about Anima after I got it, but then I left it really quickly because the Most High opened the door to shadow work as a whole. Anima is a part of shadow work, and I'm telling you, like I said last week, pin your ears back, catch it, because I'm not doing this. When I say if nothing at all ever said to me, I'm not doing this. Oh, what just happened today said to me, I'm not doing this. I was just on YouTube, and I will say, if you're looking up something, they tracking what you're looking up, so they're going to send you some more stuff. Now, I didn't go on YouTube today looking for anything Carl Jung. I only put Carl Jung's name into YouTube once. Carl Jung is the man responsible for Anima and shadow work. I've only put Carl Jung's name in YouTube once. So for me to be scrolling YouTube, why was I scrolling YouTube? I was up there for a purpose. I don't know if I was getting ready to go back and watch some other content or just find some content to watch, because that's something the most I've been doing too, because since I've been working, it has not been easy for me to just sit down and just watch YouTube for content. So I'm like, okay, God, you want to do this? Because yeah, that part. So y'all have heard me say, and it's a part of my vision. I have not put my vision on Facebook yet, but I have put my vision on YouTube. It's a part of my vision to deal with ecclesiastical, political, and societal oppression. In my vision, and I'm getting overwhelmed again. Y'all got overwhelmed last week. I'm gonna give credit to the Night and Day guys for how they helped me to put my vision together, because this has always been a page of self-analyzation. But I also knew that this was a page where God said ecclesiastical, political, and societal oppressor. Night and Day said it starts from within. You can't do nothing without until you do something within. You can't even do nothing with your family until you're willing to take the deepest and the hardest look at yourself. That is man or woman. And men, I will say, and this is not a dig, because it just said today that the work is painful and hard and long. And I am the one that will say, it ain't all women that will be willing to look at themselves. But I do feel like you're going to see more women look at themselves right now than you will see men, because I feel like it's just harder for y'all. Something about me feels like it's harder for y'all. And why? 3, the hard way, the persona, the anima, and the narcissism. When you put those 3 together, gotta love y'all. And all of y'all are not stricken with narcissism. I don't know. We probably deal with some narcissism to a certain extent. Some of us worse than others, because they're all tied. I promise you, they all tied. Because I just got into my DSM. I done had that DSM since 2019. When I was in that homeless shelter, the DSM is the book that deals with mental illness and mental. I don't even know why I fell. I ain't even been in there. Ain't even been in there. There was no reason for nothing to fall. Not one reason. But it is what it is. It's down now. But the DSM is the book that um, counselors use when they are dealing with, like, if you work for social service and you're a counselor and you're dealing with people with mental illness. And I used to work in the social service building. I was doing janitorial work. And I saw this book. And I just could not leave that book there because they were right though this book was going in the trash. And I don't believe in books in the trash. If I was gonna do nothing but send it to the Salvation Army or something, I can't see this big book going in the trash. So I said, okay, Lord, I believe this book is supposed to be mine, because I couldn't imagine that I was gonna take it to the Salvation Army or anything like that. And I know that I'm intrigued with things like that. And I ain't been to school for it or anything like that, but I know that I'm intrigued. But from that day to this one, I can count how many times on this hand, probably less than those many fingers, that I opened that book. And the moment that I open it for real, all three tie in together. And it's because of how the Most High has been bringing this. Now, I said all of that to say that today, when I watched that Carl Jung on YouTube that I wasn't looking for, he spoke about doing things from within to without. Well, that video spoke about it, and it also spoke about political, societal, and ecclesiastical oppression. It's all in here. We can really talk about it. But before I do that, I'm gonna read these three verses real quick and just let y'all ponder on them. I got a verse from the Bible, I got a verse from the Quran, and I got a verse from the Apocrypha. And if you're not familiar with the Apocrypha are the books that they removed from the Bible. They ain't books that ain't never make it in the Bible. Books that they removed from the Bible, 13 of them to be exact. They removed them, and they were prior to the New Testament. So they was there first, and if you begin to read, I read in Maccabees. So my verse is going to be coming from Maccabees, first Maccabees actually. But yes, it's 13 different books that were taken out of the Bible. None of this I asked for, or did I just go and say, I'm just going to study this. But I mean, where I'm led, Lord, I'm going to follow. Woe to me if I don't. I said that last week. I said that when I said, if I ain't going that joke and pray, that woman was like, are you ready to pray? I'm like, huh? What? What do you mean? I just sit up here with y'all and lie down on the altar. That's it. She was like, no, I need you to pray. Oh, Lord. Woe to me if I say no. Okay, so how I get lead up there before? Well, maybe then. Okay. Oh, yes. No, I'm going to go ahead and read the words right quick. So I got Proverbs 10 and 13. In the lips of him that hath understanding, wisdom is found. But a rod is for the back of him that is void of understanding. Understanding is a big and powerful word, because a lot of people think that they have understanding. But if I was to go, and I'm not even going to do it, and just do the etymology of that word to people that think that they have understanding. Understanding means balanced. And that article that I watched, that vlog that I watched, also spoke about that, how you'll be, there's more compassion when your anema is balanced. Compassion breeds understanding. You think you understanding, but if you have no compassion for people, you don't understand much. And compassion, to have compassion for people and to have understanding for people, is not to condone what people do. You do not have to condone what people do to understand that they do something. You don't have to condone what they do. I understand a lot of things people do that I don't condone. You ain't never heard people. I have heard plenty the mama say they understand why people abuse their children sometimes. I understand. Ask me, have I ever been arrested for child abuse? But I understand. And it's deeper than that. I have family members that were both victims of child abuse and were child abusers. I ain't condone you being a child abuser. I ain't stopped loving my family because they was a child abuser. My brain can understand what it feels like for your child to be so disrespectful that you might want to do something to them. Like, and I never, I mean, look, I am so me. Anybody know me know that me and my baby girl have fought. We have. And I never in a million years thought we would fought. Never in a million years. She'll tell you she never in a million years thought we would fought. But that thought process in me, it's never going to leave. I do not like to feel disrespected by anybody. God had to teach me that I don't have to fight every battle. But what I'm not going to do is be disrespected by my children. That's what I'm not going to do. Not even sorry. Not even sorry. And we have come a long way since that. We've come a long way. But I mean, it is what it is. I understand. So there are many things out there that one can understand. Don't have to condone. So that's that verse. And I'm just trying to get back in my phone. Because once I start running my mouth, my phone lock, and then I got to get back to it. The next verse is going to be Surah, Surah 59 and 7. That's coming out of the Quran. Catch it. Because we do ecclesiastical, societal, and political oppressor. Now, if you really want to put to it, Proverbs was societal. I'd say Surah is it can be societal, it can be political, it can be ecclesiastical. Catch it. Whatever God restored to his messenger from the inhabitants of the village belongs to God, and to the messenger, and to the relatives, and to the orphans, and to the poor, and to the wayfarer. God been telling me to read the Quran for a long time too. Christianity, I have you scared to do a whole lot of stuff. I have to go where I'm being led though. So that it may not circulate solely. Did I cut her off or did she go dead? I think I cut her off, or maybe we'll see. Oh, solely between the wealthy among you. Whatever the messenger gives you, accept it. And whatever he forbids you, abstain from it and fear God. God is severe in punishment. The last verse is coming from the Apocrypha, 1 Maccabees 3 and 15. So he made him ready to go up, and there went with him a mighty host of the ungodly to help him and to be avenged of the children of Israel. So I say a lot because when I be reading this Old Testament that the Most High sent me to, what I have seen is a lot of, I'll use the word that might well, not even Christians, but a lot of the pagans, there's a lot of the pagans in the Bible, you hear them being praised over Israel because I think Israel just takes for granted some things. So you begin to hear, I have spoke about it on this platform. Who was that? King Limerick over, I think, Abraham. God had to have King Limerick check him when you was trying to put your wife as your cousin, you know, all that dumb stuff. All that dumb stuff. Because one thing for sure and two things for certain, God called me to love my sisters and brothers. God did not call me to condone poor behavior. Just because you understand something don't mean you condone it. And what I have learned a lot of is I can sit inside of those walls, and a lot of people want you to just condone what goes on. That's not how. We all are supposed to be responsible for our own actions. And that video talked about you can't even really be aware, and that's probably why everybody is good with condoning poor behavior, because you can't even be fully and effectively aware of the other part of the shadow. Because look, that hit me today too, because I'm just talking about the shadow for you and for me. I'm telling you to do your shadow work, but I know that there's an oppressor that the Most High is telling me to look at too. When I look at that video, it's like it's two parts to the shadow. It's the personal shadow and the collective shadow. The shadow is the dark side of you that you do not want to face. The dark, and what happens when you do not want to face your shadow is you miss good things, like that video said. You miss good things that you can find out about yourself if you want to learn how to take the goodest heart, but the deepest in the heart is look at yourself. But if you're not willing to, and narcissism says can't nobody even tell you about yourself. That's where narcissism kicks it off to a whole nother level. Can't nobody even tell you nothing about yourself, because everything with you is gravy. You ain't got no problems. You is just as fixed as you want to be. Don't that sound a little delusional? I just feel like I can't get healthy unless you can't need to be healthy if you can't admit that you're sick in some way, shape, or form. I don't know. My deal is physical health, emotional health, spiritual health. That's my deal. All the way across the board health. I said at the beginning of this joker, before it's all said and done, I'm probably going to have gotten up and done 10 or 20 squats, because I got 90 to do before I lay down. And I was doing a lot today, and so I didn't get my squats done. But I haven't missed a day since the 1st of November, so I'm not going to miss my squats. So I'm either going to do some squats up this day. I'm going to have 90 to do after I get done, and I'm not going to want to do 90. When I get done. So, yeah. I'm not hand like that. Do me a few more squats. All right, we about to get into this thing though, y'all. 3 the hard way. Anema, the persona, because I was talking about the persona before Anema. And the reason that I came back to Anema is because I started getting on the game, because I get over here and forget about where I was over there. I started getting it on the game again after 4 years. And it was coming back to back, just like that. Bam, bam. I was like, wow, here go that Anema again. Well, Lord, we did the shadow. We did persona. Leg it back to this Anema, because, and last week I said, the man that wants to grow, because I went over some words on last week's live, and I said, I just posted them in Reels today. None of the words that were associated with Anema, if not looked at in the proper form, meaning if you're not willing to face that, they're not good words. They're not good words. And the video went on to say that if you're not willing to face it, you unconsciously get entangled in the collective shadow, which is the dark side of society, which I'm seeing a lot of. I never watched YouTube for content. I ain't thinking about no celebrity. I promise y'all. I'm really not thinking about celebrities that way. And most of the people that I watch are covering celebrity gossip, but they cover it in different ways. Now there are some that cover news. Some of the people I watch cover news. Most of them are black YouTubers. I do have some white YouTubers I watch, and I'm starting to expand because I believe there is more out there than just celebrity gossip, and that's not what I'm here for. But it gives me content. It gives me content. But no, because the lead was talking about, he was talking about, but that's where we're going. We is going to talk about the prize. And that's what I thought about. So I've been watching the lead. That was a 5-hour live stream. When they be 5 hours like that, I watch them like I've been watching that for almost a week. Just so you know, I don't just glue myself in front of a computer for 5 hours at a time. I don't even watch TV, so I'm definitely not gonna glue myself at a computer for 5 hours at a time. But he was talking about DJ Academics, saying he was the prize. DJ Academics done got in the girl face. And look, I done talked about flued out. I done talked about all of that. Self-analyzation at its greatest is not going to have you even concerned about being a prize, but let's talk about the prize. If you think about what happens with prizes, you are very excited to get that prize so that you can do what? Use it up. What prize do you not want to use up? If it's money, you're going to spend it. If it's candy, you're going to eat it. If it's a teddy bear and you like teddy bears, you're probably going to sleep with it till you bust it. You're going to use it up. You're going to use it up. The prize is not particularly a good thing. And the lead attorney was talking about back in the day, because the lead attorney and Kevin Samuels, I don't know if y'all know them. Welcome, y'all. The lead attorney and Kevin Samuels was kind of like the lead attorney's mentor. He said, if I had to call somebody my mentor, I would call Kevin Samuels my mentor. But they disagreed on much, because one thing for sure and two things for certain. The lead attorney stood up there tonight and was like, no, men are not the prize. But he said women are not the prize either. There is no such thing as prize. Now, Kevin Samuels, on the other hand, and I promise that the Most High put me in this place, not to be team Kevin Samuels, but to bring some understanding to the part of Kevin Samuels that needed to be understood by a woman, but more so a black woman, because the black women is the ones that just had it out for him because they just watched some of his clips. I just told you I watched a 5-hour live stream of the lead attorney. I went back and just started watching Kevin Samuels thoroughly after he passed away. But I was watching him prior to passing away because I always have to go in and see if I can find the balance. And I was able to find the balance. I said I couldn't find the balance in Coach Stormy. If the Most High wants me to, Lord, if you want me to find balance in that chick, this is not the platform where you're going to find all things for women. This is the platform where you are going to always take responsibility for your own actions. When Ume Uduko got caught, I said that the woman needs to be pulled out into the forefront. Anyway, she need to lose her job. Ain't nobody talking about it no more. She need to lose her job. The only reason she ain't losing the job is because she the boss wife. Like, come on. She need to lose her job. She knew she was married. That is my thing. She knew she was married. You're not, and I've been married. I've never, I promise you, my ex-husband can tell you. And that was before we got married. When I went to his house and that chick was in his house, I did not get in her face because she don't owe me. I got in his face. Now I told her you might want to leave. You might want to leave. And it happened again. I promise you, I sticks to the script. I promise you, I sticks to the script. His now wife, who was his then girlfriend. Yeah, when I went back to North Carolina and had to I had just left North Carolina. I had just left North Carolina, y'all. I had just left North Carolina and came back to Virginia. That is a 3-hour drive. My ex-husband, back it up. Rewind. I allowed my ex-husband to push my buttons because they're my buttons. And when I allowed my ex-husband to push my buttons, I wound up back in North Carolina that same night. And when I wound up back in North Carolina that same night, his girlfriend, who is his now wife, knew to just stay back there because this don't got nothing to do with you. Now, if you want to make it your business, we can. But I don't have anything to say to you. But anywho, that's not what this is all about either. This is about Anima and it being important to be able to get to a point where we can see that collective shadow, because it's real. The dark side of society is real. And if we are not willing to face us and learn how to love ourselves good, bad, and indifferent, like nobody is ever gonna. If the Bible say everybody has sinned and fallen short of the glory, you can be outside of Christianity. Nobody is ever gonna live a perfect life. Nobody is not gonna live a life where they don't do any wrong. Because if somebody come around me talking about they don't do no wrong, I'm gonna think they the worst ones out there. The worst ones out there. You are the craziest. If you say you don't do no wrong. The craziest. That part. So what this because this prize is associated with this high valued man thing. And that's what tied me into Kevin Samuels in the first place, because he was on that high valued man thing. What made me jump to the defense of Kevin Samuels is because Black Woman was acting like he was on his podcast calling women, asking them to talk to him about what they wanted in a man. No, these women was calling him. Every last one of them called him. They called into his podcast and said what they wanted in a man, mostly because they started making a little more money. So the man that was in their bracket prior to was no longer good enough for them. They did a bit of shadow work. Why? Because the spirit of discernment allows me to see. And seeing does not mean that I have to be in your presence. I can hear your voice. It's all in your tone and all. I promise you. That's unspoken body language. I just said that last week too. People be lying to you because they so stuck in that persona. Jay-Z, I be forgetting to get the song. But he talks about the persona that he puts on to go out and do business. Jay-Z and Hova and Sean Carter, they at least two different people. Jay-Z and Hova might be the same person, but they might be two different people too. I'm about to think that they two different people too. Hova's a different persona from Jay-Z. If he got a few, because he's Jigga Man, you heard? But one thing for sure, two things for certain, none of them are Sean Carter. Unless Sean Carter has decided to always be Hova, Jigga Man, and Jay-Z. That is when persona becomes a problem. When Sean Carter don't exist no more because he has decided to always be Jay-Z and Jigga Man and Hova. Catch that. Catch. And don't even bring Anima into it, because Anima say, time you tell a man feminine, I know his whole world shuts down. It does not mean that you are homosexual. When I go in and do studies on what men are lacking, and I said it earlier, where Anima is concerned, most of the time, it's a compassionate view. Most people that are lacking or excessive are either going to be lacking compassion or overly compassionate. Because overly compassionate says that you're not only do you might be nice and don't understand, but you might understand and then you just are too nice in spite of. That's why it's supposed to be balanced. Got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away. You have to know when to make the choice, when to be compassionate, when to not be compassionate, when to be nice, when to maybe not be nice. It's all in there, but that balance. Okay, you like Solomon, eating, drinking, and being merry. 9 times out of 10, when your Anima is out of order, when your persona is what you're living as, that means that people see you as that mask that you go out and you put on every day, and nobody can tell you nothing. That is a whole triple whammy. Here's 3 the hard way. And dang, I just sung Kenny Rogers' song and named my title his movie, and I didn't even think about that. Oh, there went a hairpin. There's all kinds of things and stuff going on today, y'all, but I feel good. I feel good. I'm excited. I am excited. I don't know. I just is. But okay, so the lead attorney had this man. He was saying it's not a lot of elders out there as far as for men. And I could get with that. Because you've seen the movies. And it's just the movies are based off reality. You got your big mamas. You always have a movie that's telling you about this woman that upholds the family. You don't have no movies out there telling you about this man that upholds the family. You don't hear a lot about Papa or Pop. But when I tell you that man that got on that lead attorney tonight, and it wasn't just about my head, y'all. I gotta wash my hair. And I wash my hair multiple times a week, but it's like really, really dry right there or something. I don't know. I wonder, it could be that stuff. And it smells so good, but my scalp is sensitive, so it doesn't take well to everything. And I'm like my scalp don't itch like that. And it's supposed to be, so I'm gonna try it again after I wash it, but I don't know. But anywho, he just basically, he was from Africa and he got up there. Oh, he was so eloquent. Oh, he was so regal. The man after him just had a African accent, and just because you sound African don't mean you eloquent or regal. And he just tried to get up there and explain a man being the prize and lead the Lead attorney tore him apart without even tearing him apart. Like you shutting his lead attorney would just say one word to shut his argument down because it made no sense. It makes no sense. But that eloquent man, he got up there. One of the first things he said, there is no such thing as there is no such thing as the prize as far as a man and a woman. And being a high value man, that's all I've been screaming, because that's where we disagree, Mr. Kevin Samuels, who is no longer with us. Big ups. Because I said I got put on this path to take up where he left off. But I need for you to know that a high value man has nothing to do with your money. Because all these fools around here running around this joker, the DJ Academics or T.I., all them fools running around you. They're not high value because they got money. You is not high value because you got money. You is high value because you got character, and the money helps. And that's what Mr. Thane, even his name, let me make sure I'm pronouncing it right. He was an old dude. Thane. Why do my thing keep doing that? Okay, let's hit done then, because it's not any of that about to work. His name is Thane Mithra, Mithra. He said, people who are well-adjusted don't have that type of ego. And that type of ego, meaning DJ Academics, that is a very narcissistic, unbalanced anema, of a persona issue. He got Napoleon complex out of this world. That type of ego. When you are well balanced, your ego is well balanced. It is well balanced. Confidence does not need to. You'll hear me say, I want us commanding rooms around this piece. You hear me say that often. I do, because if you're commanding a room, you are just walking into that room with the utmost confidence. Your head is held high. You are walking in that room like you own it. But you also are aware that any and everybody can walk in that room that way as well. So we could either all be the prize. I don't want to be the prize because prizes get used up. I'd rather walk into the room with the utmost confidence with my head held high. I really would. I have fought long and hard. And I still fight because, like I said, procrastination. I be coming up this joker like, y'all help me, give me a minute's own sweat. I still got to really breathe through some things, because sometimes I still get headaches because I want to fight my own battles. But I know that when Most High made me shut my mouth back in 2008, for 2 years. And I just couldn't say nothing to nobody about nothing. I could not fight a battle. This I cannot speak for anybody. This is how I maneuver with my relationship with the Most High, because at this point it's not religious. At this point it's not religious. It is just relationship. Like I said, I had Christian brothers and sisters who stopped following me because I used to play music. Just can't play music right now. Angela Stanton said that because YouTube is not having that. I was just live on Facebook. Now, am I getting videos from Facebook from 2020 right now saying that my videos are muted in certain countries? Yeah, but I still have my music. You can't play this music, or you can't play no music on YouTube unless you don't want to be monetized. And that is not the goal right now. Not right now. If the Most High don't want me to be monetized, the Most High will bring me a faithful following that for whatever reason may want to support me. But other than that, the goal is to be monetized on YouTube. And the thing is, The difference about being monetized and not monetized on YouTube is what you can say. So if you monetize, you can't say as much. But my belief is that the Most High is going to move how the Most High wants to move, because I've been sent to tell the truth. And everything, the same way that just happened with that ecclesiastical or societal and political oppressor, because I didn't get those 3 words by studying Carl Jung. I got those 3 words by studying the Bible. Got those 3 words by studying the Bible, like I did with metaphysics. Carl Jung came later. So for it to come back full circle like that, and I said last week, full circle is my phrase. Full circle is my phrase, because that's what the Most High is doing right now in all of this. So that's why I said I was sent to tell the truth. I don't even know what all the truth is right now. But all I know is I'm being obedient and have been that way since 2017. The Most High has been working on getting me in a place where I am, no ifs, ands, or buts, in. I was doing this in the homeless shelter. I wasn't doing it faithfully, because it is a lot to be homeless. Oh, Lord, I thank you that I can laugh now. It's a lot to be homeless. But then to be homeless and to believe that the Most High said do something, that I'm just going to speak for some folks that I know. And I'm not saying everybody moves like this. But I know a lot of people that move how they want to, in spite of what they feel like God might do. I am not guilty of not being. That's basically not being obedient to God. I'm guilty of not being obedient, and I'm also guilty of God have pushed me off of the cliff. So I am putting my greatest effort at both of those things, not having to be pushed off of the cliff and not having to, for God to dare me to be obedient. So the things that you'll hear me say ain't your average thing. People don't even understand. My whole story on going into the homeless shelter, it's a whole story. I've told it on this platform before. It's a whole story. People think I just lost my place and got homeless. No, I gave my place up. I cannot stress it enough. I gave my place up. And I could not go directly into a homeless shelter when I gave my place up, because God said 3 years prior, you're going to go to that homeless shelter. So get prepared. And I didn't get prepared. God wanted to see if I trusted it, the Most High God. It is not a man or a woman. If you want to give it a pronoun, you can. If I don't want to, I don't have to. God wanted to know if I would trust it with my security and my shelter, and with my job and my place. Call me what you like, because the Most High is working it out for my good and for His glory, because that is Bible. So I will be obedient when I'm saying Bible. But anywho, to move on, Mr. Mithra says, if anyone should be the prize, it should be your parents, because they created your little beautiful selves. It should be the elders that we don't, and we don't see many of, as far as men are concerned. They be in churches. A lot of men ain't gonna never go in a church. That's what I be trying to tell the church about coming out. And I told them that God said church beyond walls before COVID, and I was supposed to be gone from that church for a whole year before COVID. And I said, God told me church beyond walls still prior to COVID. COVID had not started yet. God told me church beyond walls, and they kept saying, where's that? And what's the name of that? That's the name of the ministry. It's a remnant of people that's never going to go into those doors. So we have to be willing to go out and not just be trying to Jesus folks to death. We have to be willing to go out and put our compassion on, because the collective shadow is a real thing. And it is a remnant of people that are never going to be able to take it. But it is a remnant of us that even if we haven't moved yet, we want to move. I talked about the people that haven't but want to last week. I understand what it feels like to be, I haven't done it yet, but I want to. But this shit ain't no joke. It's hard. It's hard to do shadow work. Because that's all I said it, Lord. I've been doing shadow work for years, Lord. I just ain't know it was called shadow work. Because I got tired of feeling stuck and stagnant. I got tired. And the work, like I said, the work ain't no joke, and it's nothing that happens overnight. I work at this daily. I still struggle some days. I am very, very human. I make sure that I encourage the babies, even on Facebook. Like I'm always in the young adults' face because they always in my face, and God has sent me young adults to give me wisdom and elders. And I have elders because I'm in the church. So I have elders that are men and women. Now, one of my men elders, he's not there anymore since COVID. Oh my God, but did he give me wisdom before he left? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Did he give me wisdom before he left? So God has surrounded me with young folks and old folks. Not too many folks around my age, and I'm not knocking us. I'm not knocking us, but God has sent me young people, which many folks around my age wouldn't dare take advice from. But if the word says, out of the mouths of babes and a child shall lead them, then you might want to try to take heed to that because they have wisdom too. I'm just saying. And the old folks, I've always loved to sit in the presence of old folks. Always, since I was a child. I've always been weird. I've always been weird. So, I mean, if that's weird, it just is what it is. What I put? I'm going to read y'all this. This is what I'm learning to do as well. Because I be hot like fire with myself when I post a reel and then I go back days or weeks later and I see that I done captioned that joker because I swipe. Both of my phones swipe when I text. So if I don't go back and proofread, yeah, I be coming up with some things and some stuff. So this sentence says, being a person of high value is not about your wealth. It's a grace. I don't even know what it was supposed to. I think my battery is dead. Oh my God. I've been holding the mic. Why y'all ain't telling me my light won't blue no more? It's a grease. I don't know. I'm thinking, I don't know. Maybe it's supposed to be, maybe that was what I was going to put after that, because I think I thought in my brain it's about your character. Oh, no. That was supposed to be, it's a great help. It's a great help. He said it's a great help, but he said it is not. Welcome, you guys. He said it is not what being a high-valued man is all about, and that's all I've been saying. It's fools walking around here with a whole lot of money and don't know what to do with themselves because you ain't checked your psyche. You just think because you got money, you depressed. And that's not how any of that works. That's not how any of that works. You just, you don't have a whole bunch of people that's just looking at you like you're foolish, because that would negate collective shadow. And the collective shadow, I would have to go with the collective shadow, because my night and day guys, Isaiah Curry loves to say, I don't blame it on nobody but the masses. Collective shadow. The masses, collective shadow. When you get sucked in unconsciously to collective shadow, society's dark side, ain't no telling where you're going from there. Ain't no telling where you're going from there, because you're lost. Because you don't want to look at yourself. You don't want to be Sean Carter. Not alone. You don't want to be Sean Carter. You want to be Hove, Jigga Man, you hurt? Jay-Z. You can't even see Sean Carter no more. There might be another name over there, but you can't even see Sean Carter anymore. If this were the persona that he walked in all day long. Like I said, he tell you in that song, that's a persona. I take this off when I walk through the doors of the home. I take this off. And I have someone that I know that said that they never took their mask off. And when that person said that to me, I said, that's a dangerous place to be. That you never take your mask off. Because what did I say 2 weeks ago, I think? The mirror is behind the mask. The mirror sees you, not the mask. The mirror sees you. So if you're seeing the mask and you no longer see you, read the hard way, baby. Read the hard way. You dealing with that anema, you dealing with that persona, and you're dealing with narcissism. Read the hard way. You can't see you. If you can't see you, you can never be healthy to your family. That is the next outward. Because you can't get outside to collective shadow if you can't even get outside of within, first and foremost. If you can't get outside of within, you cannot effectively be family. And then family cannot come together as a collective to do their part as the healthy part of collective shadow. Because as we stated, shadow work in and of itself is not a bad thing. The persona in and of itself is not a bad thing. Anema in and of itself is not a bad thing. It is when you refuse to check any of them that they become a bad thing. Whoo-hoo, Michi got me with this one, buddy. Oh my God. Michi is talking about Zaza Ali. And I didn't even write her name down, look, because I remember this one, because all I wrote down was the one thing that she said, because that's all I ain't never said it out loud until she said it. She said, beware of people that is always screaming my energy. My energy, this is about my energy, and my energy, because that is just like saying, I'm going to put you out of my life to get peace. But guess what? If you could determine how you were going to get peace, there would be no word inside of that Bible that said peace in the midst of a storm, people. Peace in the midst of a storm. You can put many people out your life as you want to. You can seclude yourself to the house and turn off every TV and every piece of sound. If you have no peace within, your brain is going to run rapid and you ain't going to know what to do with yourself. You ain't going to know what to do with yourself. All's alone like you wanted it. Peace in the midst of a storm. Beware of people that's always screaming my energy. That one hit me right here, because I'm like, Lord, if you have to be saying that, I ain't even trying to be funny. I have been in situations where I have had to be in situations where there was no peace, but I had to find it. I had to find it because I couldn't leave the situation. We're gonna have to work on my setup again because I find that I am over here paying y'all a whole bunch of attention and y'all are getting the side eye. Ooh, that's because my other tripod finally gave up on me. It was an investment. Y'all, when I say that the Most High said humble beginnings, when I first started this, I was going live like this. I was going live like this with the phone in my hand, sitting in my chair. That was playing my music. Well, maybe it wasn't that one because that's a new one. But the laptop was playing my music. I was going live with my phone in my hand. So then the Most High sent me a blessing of a tripod, which I broke when I first got it. But I rigged it a few times and made it last for a year. And prior to it giving out, I really want to get up and go get a Twizzler, but I'm not. Yeah, I ain't got up and did no sit up, no squats yet. But prior to it breaking, oh my God. Prior to it breaking, I'm almost done, y'all, because that phone say you either better plug me in or it's gonna be a wrap. And I can't plug it in because I got the light from the tripod that I'm telling y'all about from the free tripod. Oh, my baby brought me another tripod. So my cousin brought my first tripod. She's more like a sister to me. And that one got broke, but I kept it for a year. And so my baby brought me one that I could have until, I step up my game just a little bit more. But for now, I'm good. Because I used to do this. You feel me? But anywho, Eternalized was where I watched that Carl Jung video about the two shadows. It said the personal shadow, the collective shadow. I think I've talked about mainly everything that's in here. It says the courage in which it says the courage in which we have to bear our darkness keeps others from having to carry it for us when we don't want to do shadow work, buddy. And when it says keeps others from having to carry it for us, because there's a remnant of people that's going to take on other people's stuff and guilty. God had to teach me how to that thing about leaving it at the altar. Somebody tell me something. I feel their pain. Literally. They tell me that's empath. Like I ain't know all these words coming up. But I've been this way all my life. Our baby's just bringing names to this stuff for us. So, bringing names to this stuff for us. Empath. And I tell you, I have felt, and the thing about that is that stuff will make you ill. Physically. Because I have taken in so much and cared for so many people to my detriment, to lacking taking care of me. Yeah, I've been that person. I have been that person. So yes, doing your shadow work. But the person that's not willing to do shadow work don't care about me taking it. They mess, 'cause 9 times out of 10, they just want the attention. So they want somebody that they can. Now that is one thing I will say about my energy. I ain't saying I don't protect my energy. What I have, I will not allow myself to just be a dumping ground for people's problems, because I was one. That's why I took in so much, because I just let any and everybody come to me and tell me what's going on with them, because they just felt like, oh yeah, nicest advice and all that stuff like that. Yeah, I don't want it. Keep it. Work it out. Go do some shadow work. If you don't think that you're able to do shadow work on your own, see a therapist, psychologist, a psychiatrist, because I am not one, and I do not play one on TV, but the Most High blessed me with a DSM, so I study. He blessed me with a DSM, and the anemia is not in the DSM, but the narcissism is. And as I was looking up narcissism, I realized schizophrenia is not a mental illness, and I have thought it was a mental illness all of this time. Schizophrenia is a mental disorder. I was a little blown by that. The personal shadow is a bridge to the collective shadow. That's why we said if you're not working on you, because we summing this up right now, y'all. If you're not working on you, then you are threatened to become, unconsciously become a part of that collective shadow. Y'all can look up Anima. Like that's my concern with the men. The men are going to hear subconscious feminine energy, and they are going to just scream that they think Anima gonna make them gay. That's my concern. That's not how any of that works. We all have Anima. I don't care. It doesn't even reference sexuality. It doesn't reference sexuality. It references male and female, which means that homosexual men and women both deal with Anima issues. Like, don't make it about that. It's just about men and women. Period. And this is where we come to, where did I put that at? Oh, okay, that's says you got to deal with the inside first. So you won't fall into the subconscious subject. I read that. My bad. I'm tired, y'all. I didn't say that in the beginning. It's my baby birthday time, 11/27. Well, her birthday is 11/27, and it's 11/27 right now. Yes, we are preparing. That young lady sent me her menu 2 months ago for her birthday dinner for Thanksgiving. Said the war is in us, but it is also in everybody, and that's what I just said. Everybody has to deal with Anima. Everybody has to deal with their shadow. Everybody has to deal with persona. Everybody. Says in order to deal with it, you have to acknowledge it. You can't become a passive victim of your shadow. Just you cannot. Jay's Sean Carter, passive victim of his shadow. You cannot become a passive victim of your shadow. You have to rescue the good qualities. As I stated, there are good things in your shadow. There are things waiting for you to find out. You don't even know everything about yourself. And if you don't want to do shadow work, it's going to be some great things that you supposed to know that you're not even going to know, man. And you got to want to know. You got to want to know. Shoot. That's all. I'm just saying. You got to want to know. So be consciously aware of the collective shadow. You cannot really be consciously aware of the collective shadow if you don't even want to be aware of the personal shadow. So I would say that the conscious awareness of the collective shadow is a goal to work towards after you've handled 1 through 3. Take responsibility and tell the truth. Is there a time when you shouldn't tell the truth? Is there an amount of money that you have that should make you not want to tell the truth? Because look, the night and day guys said it's people, maybe it was the night and day guys, I don't know who it was because I watched some podcasters, y'all. It's people that just scared to go back to the hood. So they'll shut their mouth real quick for the bag, but then there's people that ain't caring about that money like that. But just say, I'm not saying this is so, but just say, y'all heard me say that the Most High said to me, Tell the truth first and foremost. But the Most High said to me, leave your place and your job. Just say. The Most High did tell Kanye to say some of these things. We ain't had no serious problem with Kanye until he started losing deals. Kanye said what he said about George Floyd. Nobody had no big problems. And I ain't saying people ain't say nothing about it. That's why he came back and apologized. But the only reason he coming back and apologizing about the George Floyd thing is because he said the thing that you're not supposed to say that Dave Chappelle talked about on Saturday Night Live. I bet y'all can go find that clip anyway, because I'm not going to find it, but I will lead you to it. Dave Chappelle said that's just supposed to be a coincidence. He's just not supposed to say anything, because anybody that says something, Nick Cannon, Kanye, Kyrie Irving. I was watching Queen Ahmadiyya Shakur today, and she had Farrakhan up there. He gave you a whole nother list to take it way back. You just can't say that. That's cool. When is the truth not supposed to be told? Because people get mad at the people that tell the truth, and you want to throw them under the bus, or you want to cancel them. And I promise you, I'm not defending any of Kanye's actions or the things he says or does or any of that. But the truth don't care who tell it. Don't kill the messenger. All of that stuff. Because we did not start dwelling on the George Floyd. We said something about George Floyd for a split second. We said something about the White Lives Matter for a split second. And he started talking about that music industry. And all of that stuff just resurfaced because of this thing. That's all I'm saying. Take responsibility and tell the truth. Oh, I said that already. And I'm going to say this one more time because it's important before I go. Shadow work can be painful and lengthy. Taking responsibility morally, I put in parentheses, societal, spiritually, ecclesiastical, and politically, political. That's why I tied them in to ecclesiastical, political, and societal oppression, because shadow work can be painful and lengthy. Taking responsibility morally, spiritually, and politically is crucial. Guess what crucial means? I found that out in studying the word. This is for all of my Christians who follow me. Crucial means it is of the cross. That definition before any anema, any shadow work, anything that you might not want to take, is it don't come from the Bible, so it might not be right. Crucial means it's of the cross. And since I'm watching my interim, I call this man my interim pastor because I've been in that church. And it is funny how Facebook does, because right now, I'm looking at it like this. Oh, okay, that's Facebook. Facebook gonna turn this joke around. This gonna look like this is my right hand. I be looking at this video and I'm on Facebook and I'm like, Lord, why I look like I'm pointing like that in my window over there and the church is over there? Oh my God. Don't do that to me, Facebook. Don't do that to me. But I've been at that church for 10 years prior to coming back. And there was a pastor that used to come there and do revivals. And he doesn't come there anymore. I know, I ain't saying that this has anything to do with why he doesn't come here, but I know what got called to my attention. He went on Black Ink and he got a tattoo. I was sitting here. I forget what I was doing, but when I tell you I heard his voice, I said, Lord, because I was a Black Ink fan. I said, Lord, that is my interim pastor on Black Ink. And I looked up, and to be sure, he has Michael Warren has an undeniable voice. He has an undeniable voice. So, and everybody that I dealt with just looked at it like he had done the worst thing in the world because he went and got a tattoo and he was a pastor. Guess what? He had 13 tattoos prior to that. He had 13 tattoos prior to that, and y'all loved him every time he came through that door because you didn't. Oh, Sadducees and Pharisees. I love y'all. Have a wonderful rest of y'all night, and I is out. Oh, Sadducees and Pharisees. I ain't gonna do none of that. Oh, well, I might, because I'm getting ready to take it outside with me, Lord, because I'm gonna go finish smoking my blunt.